And a bit of downtown Morzine, just strolling into the town, enjoying another mid-20s day. Absolutely lovely. Tiny bit of a breeze, but just really lovely early summer weather to enjoy these amazing views. See, good old pay by phone have made it to Morzine as well. We're day 3 on our campsite and at the Aire, so obviously it's been a completely free stay up to now, which is absolutely fantastic, despite the downside of the freshwater and blackwater problems. On the Aire, that is, not in the van. Then it's meant that at the moment it's going to be a very cheap week, as we're here for about 7 days. Solar is charging on, as you can tell by, of course, what's in the sky, and it's working really well, touch wood. But the work we did a couple of months ago to install the new solar is, looks like it's paying off, which is great. Wow. A fromagerie. Cheese grommet. Nothing like a good cheese shop, eh? Oh. Particularly French cheese shop, after the raclette we had in a restaurant a couple of nights ago, which was melted cheese heaven.
So good.
Oh my word.
Whoa.
Lush indeed. Then we do a good line in cheese down here. Some lovely building. Really stereotypical sort of style that you imagine and you see a lot of Swiss and or French-Swiss border, where we are of course now. We're not really that far from Switzerland at all. In fact, we came through Switzerland to obviously get to Morzine, as it sort of sticks out on a limb really, below Lake Geneva. Every other little flat's perched up in the hills there. And our daughter was saying that rentals go from £1,000 a month at off ski season that is, and then by November they redo all the contracts and it jumps to £3,000 a month to hire a little sort of, I don't know, 2 or 3 bedroom place. Certainly you can see why they cram in so many properties. They must make an absolute mint. And as you can imagine, 1 or 2 bike and ski shops. The mountain bike season starts in about the 1st of July, you know, going right through for 2 or 3 months. And as you can imagine, there's some absolutely crazy downhill mountain bike areas. Well, in fact, mountain bike areas generally, not just downhill. They do events here as well. I think Red Bull have got an event here coming up. And we've been past lots of signs for mountain bike routes. But just about anything you could want in town here, including a gazillion estate agents. I'll show you a couple of windows of those, which will make your hair stand on end. It's one of the little squares there as well, the Office du Tourisme, just down there. And that's not far from where the Tour de France is going to finish this year as well. It's got a 1 stage finishing here, right in the middle of Morzine. Just under £1 million there for a 3-bedroom chalet. That's a new one. 457 there for an apartment, and then 1.5 there for another 4-bedroom place in Morzine. Wow, definitely not bargain basement, is it, eh? And we've sort of come through the town centre and down to the lower part of Morzine. You see there's a big Carrefour supermarket there. There's a casino supermarket in town as well. So, as I say, just about anything you can need here if you fancied spending a few days in and around the beautiful Morzine. Yeah, so right up in the distance there, you might just be able to pick it up. That's Avoriaz, which is the much higher ski commune than we are here, of course, at Morzine, but and a lot more seasonal. A lot less people would live up there permanently, but an incredible mecca for skiing once the snow hits the ground, right up in those upper slopes. Stunning place. Somebody found a nice little park up spot down there. There's no height barriers into there, but obviously that is Carrefour's car park. So apparently one or two do sneak in there at night and have a bit of off-grid stuff, but there's obviously the Aire where we are, which is also free, and I think there's one other free pretty big car park as well with no height barriers in the town here if you're off-gridding. And a clue that the tour is coming, a good old yellow jersey decoration we see on the lamppost down there as well. The flags are up, and I suspect that all of this rapid road improvements and pavement improvements and God knows what is because the tour is coming in. Always tends to G things up like that. Road improvements, surface improvements, ready for those incredible cyclists. And then we're down into the sort of lower main street of Morzine, drop down from where we started there. More stacks of restaurants, a few more estate agents. Very pretty. We're right down the bottom end of town now, by the river that runs through the town. Almost like a postcard, isn't it, when you see the mountains behind? Can't quite believe it's real. Just such drama from those peaks. Get a sneaky feeling you can tell who's coming to town. They've even decorated the suspension bridge as well. You can walk across that as well. In fact, there you go, look, as if perfectly timed, cyclist making his way across the pedestrian and cycling bridge. Massive sports centre, and there's an indoor and an outdoor pool there with a big water slide coming down just behind these trees. Loads to do if you're not coming here when there's loads of white stuff on the ground. And a bit of this little park bit that we've walked into, doing a bit of restoration of this this lovely mill, which is just there. Cool, there's a project of love. Look at those, all the old bits of machinery. That would be amazing. They bring that back to its former glory. And of course the mill pond. Wow, look at that. Brand new, reforged wheel. A lovely walk down you could take there. River, little picnic areas over there. Gosh, it caters to everything, doesn't it? Chilled out, relaxing by the river, or full on white knuckle stuff further up the slopes. Climbing, kayaking, mountain biking. Just about anything for everyone here. So from the so we're just strolling out. The Aire is just here, and look at that in the background. Isn't that lovely with the sun on those hills? Don't know whether you can pick that up. So we've just strolled out from the Aire car park, and we're off straight down this path towards a riverside walk. Absolutely lovely. nicely marked up paths. So that was the track we came down from the air from, and you're straight into this. Look at that. Absolutely beautiful. Such a bright day as well. And we're actually at Morzine is actually at 1,000 metres already, so where the air in effect is at 1,000 metres, which, if you think about that, that's almost as high as the highest UK peak. So that certainly puts it into perspective. So before you even start, you're at a great height, and some of the flora and fauna, plants coming through now, they've been uncovered from the snow. Absolutely stunning feast of colour. Look at that, what a spot, eh, for a house. Wow. There is a lot of very, very stunning scenery around here. Not stifling hot today as well, as we're only in May, so it can get up into the sort of 30s in Morzine, despite our height at 1,000 metres, but at the moment it's about between 17 and 20, I think, so really pleasant walking, nothing too crazily hot. And this is where Rhiannon is taking us to, the Montriond village and the lake there, so looking forward to having a look at that. Look at the snow up there as well, beautiful. Absolutely lovely. Oh look, got somebody coming to see us as well. Good day to you, little donk. Those pesky flies, eh? Do they annoy you? I bet they do. Your mate's looking pretty chilled as well. Wow. Look at these. I've got these everywhere. And it says just eau potable, which means drinkable water. And Rhiannon was saying they're all over Morzine, loads of these little fountains, all drinking water. Gotta give that a try. Wow, absolutely amazing. Of course, Evian is about 20k away from here. Evian, as in Evian spring water. Oh my word, that's lovely. Yeah, so free water and water fountains all over both here. We're in Montriond now, which is almost linked to Morzine. Smaller place, more community, more family type place, and a bit less expensive than Morzine, whose prices are pretty crazy for housing there. But lovely little place. The Mairie as the town hall and post office. Lovely. Now there's a structure. So you got the road down there, and you got this thing, which is like a giant concrete bridge. But what it's actually for is you can see that there's been a lot of debris and water coming down, and it just prevents all of that debris and water then blocking the road below. So it's basically an outflow for all the junk that comes from up there, which, as you can see, obviously takes out of a current of water, meltwater, but throws it all over the road there, off the end of this bridge, instead of on the road. And we've made our way all the way up. We've been climbing for about an hour and a quarter, but you're rewarded with, look at those crags up there, absolutely amazing. But then the Lac Du Montriond is where we were heading, and look at this coming into view now. Wow. Look at that. Now they've even thought of this little enclosed area here as a shallow pool for youngsters, or in fact, as we can see there, ducks and their youngsters. But look at that for a city, isn't that lovely? So tranquil. Perimeter path, you just see right over there some people going round the path, perimeter path, but what a great spot, bring a kayak, which is what my fabulous eldest is intent on doing. And indeed we brought our kayak, but may not be here long enough to get that out, but very nice too. And then a little cafe here at the car park. There's a posh restaurant up there, so a really lovely place to stop off with scenery that you'd have a job to beat. Needless to say, a coffee, Nicky's hot chocolate, bit of Orangina. Wow, couldn't be better, could it? Well, we've just worked our way along the lakeside. That's one of the little rivers that feeds this beautiful lake. And then once you're up at this end, look at the way that opens out. Wow, look at that. You guys are going to be so fed up with me saying wow all the time, but there's very little else to say. Look at that. And yet more up this end of the lake there. You've got another little restaurant, very nice, and a hotel of course. And then some facilities there, toilets, parking. So you can drive to these places as well. Don't think you can overnight in a van here. There's a couple of car parks have got height barriers on. Yes, in fact there's a height barrier again over there, so I think that stops you parking sort of overnight. But as you've seen from where we are, this is only 5 minutes drive from the free air at Morzine. So there are other sites as well around Morzine. There's no sort of pitch up ones actually in the town itself, or at least I couldn't see any. There's a couple you know, just on the just a few kilometres out, but mainly just that. There's a big free car park where you could totally off grid, and then obviously there's the one that we're at, the camping area, which hopefully they've repaired the flot bleu. If you're thinking of coming here and drop in there, then hopefully that's all repaired by the time you get here. And then of course the other side, it's fed. Look at that, you might just be able to pick it up in the picture. Look at that waterfall coming down there, that almost vertical cliff. Isn't that stunning? And of course the perfect spot for the ladies to find a spot to picnic. I'm definitely going to go and join them for my crackers and tuna mayo. Now, isn't that a picnic bench with a view? Time for tuna mayo. Wow, look at them, they're pretty new. They're probably only just hatched, I should think. Wow, how cute. 10 of them, are there? Yeah. Wow. Mothering 10 of those. No wonder Dad's nowhere to be seen. He's like, God, 10? No, I'm going down the pub. So having left that beautiful picnic spot, we're just starting our descent now. What goes up must go down, so we've got a generally downhill walk all the way back to Le Montriond, down through yet more stunning scenery and woodland walks. Look at that, just on our walk down, isn't that beautiful? Looks brand new, still got the grass growing, builder's bags there, absolutely stunning. We're just about 10 minutes back to the van now, and back the other way. We were right up there this morning, and then we hiked up the valley to the lake that you saw. Look at that peak up there as well, looks like got a huge grassy meadow right at the top. Rhiannon says that winter the skiers hike themselves right the way up there purely so they can ski back down a bit of that. Wow. Whereas me skiing down that would spend the whole time on my backside because I'm not a skier. Well, having tried it a couple of times, I did spend most of it on my backside. So another day, about day 5 here in Morzine, and we've driven up to Avoriaz, which is the that higher resort that I mentioned earlier, and to this lovely little lake up at the top here, which apparently has got a lot of frogs and toads in, and of course by the looks of it stocked with a reasonable amount of fish as well. What a lovely spot. Some parking as you can see around here. Looks like a popular little spot. Rhiannon was saying that one of their favourite ski runs comes down through the valley here, and then you can join the road where we drove up and ski all the way down the road. It's all sort of off-piste, there's not because there's no chairlift here, but you can get to the top bit by going up a chairlift on the opposite valley and then traversing across to this one, and then off you go. Lovely waterfall just up there as well. What a pretty spot. Fish in the net down there. Lovely. A few little picnic benches up in the forest there, all got people enjoying their picnics. You can see why it's just so peaceful here. Lovely. The lake itself is called the Mines D'Or Lake, i.e. the gold mine lake, which is why it was originally dug as a water source for the gold mines that are, or were, near here. Maximum depth about 5 metres, but nice, and the fish that they had over there, that was looking at the infographic there, that was definitely a little brown trout they had caught there. Very nice too. And just about 4 or 5k below the lake that we've just been to, it's a lovely little woodland walk that's Rhiannon's taken us on. High ropes course in the middle of it. What isn't there in this place? It is just amazing. And brought us up here as well to see a very pretty little waterfall. So Rhiannon is taking us up to Avoriaz, which, as you can see by my Google Maps, has got, or by Rhiannon's Google Maps, has got rather a few switchbacks, so you can imagine it's going to be up to an amazing view at the top. Here's one of the many hairpins. There's Avoriaz, just perched on the top of it, literally perched on the top of the hillside, top of the cliffside. It's virtually empty in the season that we're in now, but Rihanna was just saying that the ski lifts there have all got the mountain bike attachments ready for the start of mountain bike season, so you can carry your mountain bikes up from the town of Morzine below us. Bright sun in Morzine and a typical mountainous weather of a little shower passing over as we get up to the height of Avoriaz.
Yeah, it looks like it's
all the ski hotels and chalets and yeah, ghost town. So there's a lay-by for a picnic, eh? Probably stay near the car because got a little bit of grey around us. So that was a quick 800 metres up from Morzine down below us. You can imagine this, it is literally a ghost town now, but you can imagine it in the winter. In fact, Rihanna was saying they pedestrianised the whole of this area up here because it's just so busy. But we'll be equally as busy again very soon when all the bikes start arriving. Wow. So we left the car right down there. A little picnic spot, rain has eased off for a minute. Gained a bit more height. And come up over the other side of the ridge for yet more ski runs over here where Nikki and Rihanna are. Look at those beautiful peaks just up in the snow there. And that's just up over the ridge. See all the loads and loads of ski runs disappearing off into the mountains there. Absolutely everywhere. Hundreds of kilometres of ski runs in the season. But yeah, you could spend probably weeks exploring up here without doing the same piece twice. And these structures here that look a bit like barriers, there are snow blowers which would create snow if the temperature is right, water into the bottom end, out the top end, falling snow given the right minus temperature. Modern technology, eh? Top up the piste runs. See, they're dotted all the way down there. Technology in action, eh? There's a great view of Avoriaz. Just slightly above it all now. Look at that. Imagine it under probably 2 metres of snow. That would be my sort of kettle, my cup of tea. Almost flat if I was to ever go skiing again. Yeah, flat would do me perfectly. Spend a bit less time on my backside. squiggly roads. Different route this time to come down. Gonna hopefully go past the Lac Du Montriond that you probably saw earlier in the film, which was really pretty, where we walked up to on the first day. But yeah, certainly a place where you want to make sure you've got good brakes and a bit of low gear, eh? Don't know about doing it in Resi the motorhome though. Actually, it might be quite entertaining in the motorhome. And I suspect Nikki would be at the top waiting for a taxi. Yes, they'll probably drive faster down.
All the good times just begun.
Good.
We know what we have, let's hold on tight. Found what we're looking for.
There's the local goat community as well here. Rhiannon tells us there are a lot here. Oh yes, here we go. Look, here's all the goats. Lovely. Look at that on the table over there. Wow, that's absolutely crazy. The goats mixing with the visitors. Yeah. Hello, goatee. I wonder what's on the menu tonight. I wonder if there is such a thing as roast goat.
Oh.
Do you think there is a roast goat?
I'm glad the goats were here.
The goats were great. Love those goats. Don't know whether you'd eat outdoors there though, would you? That was a little settlement called Les Lindarets, and it is famous for its goats, albeit Rhiannon thought they weren't quite here yet.
They are.
But they are, they were here. So you've met Les Lindarets goats as well. How about that? And there's still a fair way up from the Lac Du Montriond, which is down below us on this route down.